All right, let's talk about XRP. Let's talk about XRP because everybody knows that it's my favorite coin out there. It's the crypto factor's favorite cryptocurrency. Well, no, not really. But let's talk about XRP all the same because the truth is, even though I do not like XRP, I made the best, most awesome calls when it came to XRP the last 5 years. And we don't need to talk about them. I don't need to show you. I don't need to brag. We just made the perfect calls. Actually, scratch that. Let's talk about those calls for context, and let me just show off a little bit. Let me flex a little bit, so to speak. So we actually said in the previous bull market, in the previous cycle, we said to get out of XRP and not to get back into XRP until it broke 72 cents. Once it broke 72 cents to $1, you should be accumulating and buying because it's gonna go to the previous all-time highs. And if it breaks those all-time highs later on, it can go to $4 to $7. We actually said that, we stated that, and everything actually played out perfectly. As a matter of fact, not too long ago, I told you to get back into XRP at 72 cents, even though I did not like it because I trade it, I make money, I like money. I don't like XRP, I like money. But it's not XRP that I want to talk to you about in this video. See, if XRP breaks all-time highs, which I believe it will towards the end of this bull market, and reach $4 to $7, then the XRP ecosystem could skyrocket more than that. And that's what I want to talk to you about today. There is a project that reached out to me. This is a sponsored video, by the way. They reached out to me to make this video. And the truth is, if you do like XRP and you do believe XRP is going to do well, it may be worth looking at this project. Now, I'm going to show you the project right now, but I want you to do your own research. I'm going to go through some things that I like and that I don't like in this video. But one thing is for sure, you are going to get a no BS, no fluff video on XRP. I'm not here to say it's gonna pump to the moon. I'm not here to say anything of that. I'm gonna give you my honest opinion like I always do. So if you believe that XRP is gonna go to 10K, hey man, you're in the XRP army? Yeah. You think that XRP is gonna go to 10,000, 25,000, 50,000, making you rich? It doesn't matter what you think. Yeah, exactly. So let's talk about this project. And before we get into the project, let's look at the XRP price just so we can have some context here. For those XRP fanatics out there, let's look at the price of XRP or the price action of XRP. By the way, real quick, not financial advisor, not financial advice. There's a disclaimer in the description down below. Go check that out. Read the disclaimer. If you lose your shit, it's not my fault, okay? I'm here to share you my opinion. My opinion is for free. Make sure you read the disclaimer down below. Besides, there's a lot of cool links there as well. So let's continue. So looking at XRP on the factor line, we had this massive rise over here as soon as we broke out from this channel from about $2 to $2.2 over here. And if we go back even more, you will see that this all actually started as soon as we broke 72 cents, which we call down here. We were talking about this resistance. This is actually 66 cents. Somewhere around here was what I was saying we need to break out. And as soon as we broke out from this resistance over here, this multi-year resistance, we actually skyrocketed. Now, of course, the factor line actually called this earlier at 50 cents. But as soon as we broke out, I was telling you to get in because I wasn't sure if it's gonna reject here. And it didn't reject, it just went to the moon. There you go, XRP going to the moon. And if you actually listened to me, you wouldn't have been holding XRP and missed an entire bull market. And most of this one, you could have been on Solana, you could have, anyway, look, I digress. You're holding XRP, well done. You saw some gains, awesome. It's just that if you listened to me, you would have made more, but it doesn't matter. Let's continue here. So we had this massive rise over here, and now we are currently in this range right here from about $2.9 all the way to $3.5. And we want to see this range break. If this range breaks, I am looking at $4 to $7 when it comes to XRP. That's 1, 2, 3, 4 to $7. okay? Not $47, $4 to $7. 10 is possible, but it's a bit of a stretch. I don't think it's gonna get over there or over that in this bull market, but that's just my opinion. So as you can see, the factor line is gold on the 4-hour over here, and it did tell you to buy around 2.9, confirmed on this candle right here, and we're going up ever since. A little bit of a temporary sell signal over here, but not to worry, trend is still going up. The trend stacker is neutral over here, and I am expecting this to go to the upside. We need to break 3.5 though. I'm gonna stress this. This level needs to break, and this level needs to become support for us to go higher, in my opinion. And we're gonna have a tad bit of resistance around this level here. So you can also see this in a range, okay? So if that happens, there's gonna be a lot of attention on the XRP ecosystem. So rather than 2-3xing, possibly 4xing your money here, you can actually make a lot more by actually positioning yourself in the XRP ecosystem, just like we did with Ethereum, just like we did with Solana, just like we did with other ecosystems. You could possibly do this with XRP. And the project I want to talk to you about today is DEXRP. Now, this is the first DEX built for Ripple's XRP ledger, and this can actually be quite huge. You can buy it early right now, but I want to give you a few hints or some advice on when to buy this, how to play this, and also tell you what I like genuinely and what I'm a bit iffy on. But again, you know I'm iffy on XRP, so please do your own research. I just want to guide you and tell you my opinion here and what I would personally do. Does that make sense? Okay, so let's move on. So DEXRP is a next generation decentralized exchange powered by open source XRP ledgers. So think of this like Uniswap, think of this like PancakeSwap on Solana, or even better, maybe even think about this like Hyperliquid, because things have evolved and this does look powerful, and I do believe they're going that direction. So basically they combine blazing fast transactions, ultra low fees, and deep liquidity to deliver an institutional grade trading experience for everyone, from crypto newcomers to professional traders. And look, let's be honest, XRP is fast, very fast. When you have a centralized entity, when you have a centralized sort of cryptocurrency, this can be fast, the tech is great. I never argued with that part. I don't really like the non-decentralization of XRP, and before people go crazy in the comments, it's just not. Let's not get into this right now, but please do argue with me in the comments down below. I'm open to it, but it is fast, and for this use case or for what they're trying to do, it's efficient. It doesn't need to be decentralized. That's what I'm trying to tell you. You don't need to be like Bitcoin. You can be your own thing. Does that make sense? Okay. So no noise, just execution. DEXRP strips away the clutter, leaving with pure performance. So what would you love about this project? Let's have a look about what this project says that we're gonna love. First of all, instant settlements. This is actually very important. It finalizes trades in seconds, not minutes. And yes, XRP fast, built on XRPL, this will be fast. Low fees, yes, because of XRPL's efficient design. Yes, I agree with this. When it comes to tech, XRP is great. There, I said it, there, okay? I just said that XRP is great when it comes to tech, okay? Awesome. Clip this bit out. All you hate is XRP maxis. And again, look at the crypto factor. Clip this part out and actually put it and try to put different context to it and just say that I changed my mind on XRP, which I haven't, but that's okay. You can do that. It's fine. Dual trading modes. So basically you can do quick swaps over here or order book for precise control. It has advanced order types, where you can stay ahead with integrated charts and deep market data. This is what I mean by this being more like Hyperliquid, not so much like Uniswap or PancakeSwap, but they're all DEXs. I just wanted to clarify the tech here. It seems to be a little bit more, or shouldn't say tech, but the platform here, it seems to be a little bit more, how can I put this? interesting, useful, better. Take your pick from those words. And then it has smart liquidity routing. This means you can actually get the best price without slippage every single time. So who is this designed for? Well, probably everybody that believes to make money in this. I know this says for professional traders over here, but let's be honest, yes, you can use this to trade, but the truth is we want to see if this project can make us profits. Come on, why would you get into a project? Why would you get into a project? To trade? No, you can trade on it if it's better. It's remain to be seen. Right now, Hyperliquid is fine. There's DEXs out there, there's SEXs out there. But is this gonna be good? Will it go up in price? Are we gonna make profits? At least that's what I'm looking. I don't care where it's built or what it does. I wanna know if it's gonna go up and I can make profits. Now, of course, this is not guaranteed. This could all go to shit. This could be a complete scam. We don't know. Sometimes scams have a way of disguising themselves. I don't believe this is the case for this. We'll go through it later on, but let's just continue and see what this does. But yes, I'm in here to make money, and if I'm gonna get into this project, I'm gonna get into it to potentially make money or get wrecked completely, but we'll see, we'll see. So it's for professional traders with advanced orders, real-time analytics, and precision execution at scale, and retail traders with simple swaps, intuitive interface, and powerful features without complexity. You have gas back rewards and a whole bunch of other stuff. This is powered by open source XRP Ledger. This is actually very important. The token is DEXP. You can actually buy this right now in pre-sale. My link is in the description down below. You can use that. I will make some money from that. Keep that in mind. So if you really want to make me suffer, don't use that link. Like, oh, the crypto factor now is talking all this stuff about XRP. We hate him. Guess what? I'm gonna buy this without using your link. Go ahead, do that. That's fine. That's all right. I get it. I get your frustration. But the link is in below. The link is in the description below if you want to use it. But make sure you watch the rest of this video because I'm going to go through some points later that you just need to know. Just like every video, every sponsored video I do, I go through some good things, but also some potential red flags. We're going to do that a little bit later. So you can buy DEXP right now by clicking this link, but generally this is fast, efficient consensus algorithm with transaction settling in 4 to 5 seconds. This is actually pretty fast for an exchange. Censorship resistance, transaction processing, very important. On-ledger decentralized exchange for maximum transparency. Let's use that decentralized word loosely there, but okay. And advanced cryptography that ensures superior security. I can believe that. You have your partners and integrations over here. You have your profit calculator over here. List of biggest transactions over here. And yes, it goes into the tokenomics over here, which I'm not really gonna read now. I'll show you why in just 1 second. And of course, you can explore their roadmap over here. We're currently at Q3 2025, which is the IDO and core features, the initial DEX offering and core features of this token. And you can see they're quite ambitious over here with their roadmap. This is actually good because this brings anticipation and this can actually help the price as long as we are in a bull market. So you have everything you need to trade smarter, and basically the call to action is to be part of the DEXRP from day one. So basically they're telling you, get in now before at a lower price, and we're gonna release at a higher price. And this is where the controversy comes, because I'm gonna tell you a couple of things straight out here, okay? There are exceptions to this, but I wanna be very honest with you. A lot of these IDOs, when they first come out, they dump, right? So you see them actually release, everybody dumps, and basically it just goes down. And then a lot of them will go up again and do very well, like Pudgy Penguins, for example, which we've been calling for a while. This might be the same case, but what it's telling you is that you can get in and you can be the one dumping. Now, there may be other people dumping before you. We're gonna go into that in just 1 second, but a good way to tackle this, if you are actually interested in this, what I would personally do if I was buying this, I'll tell you later on if I'm buying this or not, but if I was buying this, I would probably get some now, just some, just so I don't forget, because things happen, you forget, there's things you have to go do, you're going on vacation, suddenly you're in Dubai, suddenly you're in suites, you're driving Corvettes, it's yes, I'm not at the Lambo point yet, but you get my drift, right? Porsche and so on, and you kind of forget. So you could buy some now, wait for the IDO, try to time it on the dump, and if it doesn't dump, wait for the dump, then buy it there, all right? A lot of times you can actually get it cheaper than actually getting into the pre-sale. Now, understand that a lot of times you don't have time to do that, so it's better to kind of like 50-50 your shot here, if that makes sense. Does that make sense? Okay, now, let's move on here. See, what I actually did, I actually ran this through ChatGPT. I actually ran the white paper through ChatGPT, and of course, I advise you to do this on your own and verify this. ChatGPT can actually make quite a few mistakes, but I ran it through just to verify some of my points, and some are verified here. I'm not using the whole list, just the most important ones, if that makes sense, okay? And look, let's start with the good things about this, okay? XRPL speed and fees. Yes, this is extremely fast. We know that. XRP Army, you don't have to keep on beating that down. We know it's fast. Well done. Congratulations. It's awesome. And this project needs to be fast, and it will be competitive, and it's a good thing, okay? It's got a hybrid trading model. This combines AMM swaps with a pro order book that supports advanced order types. This is actually quite unique. And also, let me add a few more points here. This is gonna be one of the first projects or the first DEX on XRP or the XRP ecosystem. That alone is massive. I want you to keep that in mind. We're gonna come back to that in just 1 second. It's got a unique fee system. Okay, so continuous fee auction and dynamic fee voting to keep trading cost competitive. It has strong LP incentives, also extremely good because it has dynamic rewards and yield multipliers for long-term liquidity providers. And real token utility. Yes, fee, discount, staking boost, premium access, and so on. This is what you can expect on the DEX. I mean, just look at Hyperliquid, look what Hype did, the actual token. You might even expect this to do better. If this catches on, we're talking about massive gains. This can actually literally go to the moon. Literally go to the moon. I'm not joking here. But there are a few concerns. And one of them is no named team. This is actually quite interesting. Why is there no public information on who's behind this project? I mean, it's centralized anyway. It's on XRP. Everyone on XRP is doxed. Why not dox people here? I get it. It's a DEX. I'm just not sure if this is the right sort of vibe. Now, let's be fair. Let's be honestly fair here. There's a lot of projects that don't disclose teams that do very well. I mean, I've covered a lot of them. Delicium in the beginning didn't have a team that was exposed. It did very well. Or even beyond that, PancakeSwap. It literally did not have an exposed team, and it did very well. It's working today. I use it all the time. So it's not a red flag. It's a concern, not even a concern. I would say this is something to just keep in mind and do further research. There's high insider allocations. Over half the total supply goes to team, advisors, ecosystem, marketing, and reserves. It lists this as a bad thing. I actually think this is a good thing, especially if a lot of that is in marketing, to make people happy, to make people not want to scam you and actually work for this project and not just sit there with a coffee and not do anything. I actually believe that cost is important and teams need to, this is the centralized part I actually agree with. I like this vibe. That said, these people could dump on you. The question is, when can they dump on you? And we are gonna talk about that in just 1 second, because this is where it gets very interesting. There's a few minuses or a few concerns here that are actually a plus, so bear with me here. So you have fast token unlocks. 50% of liquidity tokens unlock at launch. This means quite some dumping, but then you have public sale tokens fully unlocked in 8 months, which could create heavy sell pressure. Yes, but in 8 months, this bull market will be over. We're more than likely gonna be in a bear market anyway. You wanna be taking profits on the way up till there. If you don't understand why I'm saying this, make sure you watch this video. I'll leave it right up here. I'll also leave it in the description down below. Watch the video about how I believe this altcoin season will roll out and what my views are. Now, I'm not saying it's gonna be 100%, it's gonna be in a bear market 100%. I'm not saying we are gonna be in a bear market 100%. Okay, I know I stuttered there. I stuttered there. I'm not articulating myself properly. And this video, listen, this video is non-edited, by the way. I'm not editing this video. I wanna have these talks with you because I wanna have an honest approach, transparent approach, and I'm sick and tired of high retention editing, AI editing, whoosh effects, this effects. Yes, it keeps people engaged longer, but they don't get context. I'm trying to give context. So like this video, if you've watched this far, please like this video if you appreciate this kind of style. No zoom ins, zoom outs, blah, blah, blah. Just get straight to the point. A little bit of flexing, but that's okay. A little bit of flexing is fine, okay? But at least I'm not over editing. So this can actually be a plus if you know when to sell and know how to play this, but the audit is not yet published. Now, this is a promised, but no proof of completion or who is doing it. This does not mean it will not happen. It means it hasn't happened yet. Maybe they're taking care of a few more things. This is something to look out for. I wouldn't call it a red flag. I would call it a concern, but not a red flag. And you can see and do your own research and see if they're gonna actually come up with this. As a matter of fact, they have a Twitter. We'll look at the Twitter later on and see if we actually missed anything. And then possibility of overhype, yes, but this happens with all projects. Risk of inflating listing prices, yeah, okay, but this happens with pretty much all projects. It's pretty much a given when it comes to crypto. And look, if you're gonna get into a project like this, let me give you my views. You're gonna get into a project like this expecting to lose. If you have, let me explain, I'm not saying that you're gonna lose 100%. I'm not badgering the project here. I'm not banging the project. What I'm saying is this, if you have a portfolio of, let's say, 30% blue chip tokens, if you can call them that, 30% mid caps, 30% low risk caps, and 10% pre-sales like I have showed you in my portfolio videos, how to structure a portfolio, then this could go in there. It would go into your IDO pre-sold projects, and it will be part of that 10%. So if you put, let's say, $10,000 in crypto, 1,000 of that would go into that. Maybe there's gonna be 2-3 projects in there, maybe 4. Couple of $100 would go into that. When you're getting in later after the launch, you will use the bottom part of high-risk projects as soon as you see the technicals and you see that it's going up and it's keeping some sort of base. When I say technicals, I don't mean technical analysis. There's no such thing on there's no such thing as technical analysis on new projects because there's no price history, but you get what I mean. If it dumps straight and stays down, you're not buying. But if it dumps, comes back up and makes a little support and you're seeing support, maybe you can buy. At least it's kind of doing something. You can kind of look at an overview and see what it's doing. Does that make sense? Yes, I'm rambling a little bit, doesn't matter, because I want to get through this and I want to get to the next part of this video and I don't want to tire you out so much. You're already watching this video for so long. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. I really appreciate you, especially if you're an XRP army and you don't like me, because I know a lot of you don't. I appreciate you watching this video till this point. Now, no matter what you say in the comments, I don't care what you say in the comments. You can call me a fat, bald, smelly, whatever you want to call me. I appreciate you watching the video up to now. I really do. All right? And if you want to ask any questions in the comments, please go ahead. I will try and answer all of them, even the negative ones. If they get too nasty, I might delete your ass and ban you, but that's different. Okay? All right. So look, this is their official X account, DEXRP_IO. Make sure you go to the right one. Make sure it has a blue check mark. This is their original, their actual Twitter or X profile. I'll actually leave this link down below because a lot of people get scammed. And look, it says here, DEXRP community sale begins now. So the sale is right now. Let's move down a little bit. Token holders gain full access to DEX very cool features. Okay, talks about the coin. They're making posts over here. I just wanted to see if we missed anything. Oh, they are at WOW Summit Hong Kong. That's cool. I wish I could get over there together with Forbes Cointelegraph. Okay, awesome. So they're official sponsor. I like it when companies go to these events. I go to a lot of these events as well, so I can actually meet people and see what they're up to. But it also means they are investing. They're investing in marketing. It means they have money and they're no deadbeats. If you have a project that can't do marketing, can't go to events, they're deadbeats. And when you go to events, make sure you see how they are at events, what kind of booths they have. If they're a startup, they might have no money. They may not be able to even push the product, but they look like they have the budget to push this forward, which is a good thing. And look, you have some engagement here. You have Jack the Rippler reposting and supporting this project. I can't remember who this is, but I think it's somebody I'm not too fond of. Yeah, it's this guy with the booms all the time. Yeah, he's a bit of, how can I put this? That video that I showed you in the start, that could be him. The guy I'm talking to could be him. Jack, if you're listening to this, man, you gotta calm down, man. You gotta calm down with those insane games. Yes, we know. But anyway, it's a good thing that they're getting support from influencers like Jack the Rippler. Whether I like him or not is a big influencer, yes? So that's a good thing. And yeah, again, just for full transparency, look, I have an affiliate link. It's in the description down below. If you use this, I can actually get some kickback. So keep that in mind. Now, would I personally get into this project? Would I buy this project? Let me give you the most honest answer I can possibly give you here. Yes, but I would probably wait for the IDO, wait for the price action, and buy on the dump. That said, I would risk this going up and being one of those outliers that doesn't go down, and I wouldn't be able to sell when everyone's buying, if that makes sense, when it starts going on exchanges and so on, potentially. And the reason I would do that is I'm overexposed on altcoins right now. I'm making enough money in crypto, I'm making enough money in my investments. I don't know if I would really get into a pre-sale. Would I be against this generally if this came out, let's say last year? Or when XRP beat all time? I could have got into it, but right now I'm kind of like full of my pre-sale portfolio, so to speak. That's not to say that this can't do very well. That's not to say that I'm telling you not to buy it. What I am telling you is, if you like XRP and you think it's going to do extremely well, and you think the ecosystem will do well, which if XRP does, the ecosystem should do very well, then this looks like a project I would get into, along with other projects potentially, for a bet on this project. Does that make sense? So all in all, I think it's a good project. It's a good risk. I would take the risk and I would buy it. Just make sure you do your own research and, kind of like decide for yourself. With that said, make sure you watch this video right here next. It's the altcoins that I am personally holding. Hint, no XRP, but it is the altcoins I'm holding. And maybe, just maybe, on a future video, this project will be added to it. So check it out. I'll see you in the next video.